story of the year. At the United Nations meeting in Mumbai, India shares intricate details, bears Mumbai terror plot before the world. Sensational 14-minute tape on poaching has been accessed by Republic. On the tape, TRS MLA is making the offer to the CM. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in Ladakh inaugurates multiple infrastructure projects. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan goes against ISI, says will expose the ISI. Hello, welcome you watching This Is Exclusive with me, Shavan Sen. Two big stories lined up on This Is Exclusive, starting with the latest development in Karnataka. Shivamogga in Karnataka has seen multiple hate attacks this year, starting from Harsha, who was not just brutally murdered but also filmed. And then, just few days back, we saw how a Hindu activist was nearly killed by attackers under broad daylight. Now, there lies a similarity between the two incidents. What are those? To decode the same, let's take a look at this report and then we go across to our report on the ground to get you the latest.
A Hindu activist was attacked on Monday night with stones and boulders by three bike-borne assailants in Karnataka's Shivamogga district. Cops said that the activist, 25-year-old Prakash, was returning home when he was stopped by the three accused persons. They shouted slogans against the Hindu community and threw stones at him. Meanwhile, Republic has accessed FIR in the hate attack on Prakash, and the FIR has some very serious statements that were given by the complainant.
And according to the NIA charge sheet of Harsha's murder, there is a link between Prakash's assault case to Harsha's murder, because one of the prime accused in Prakash's murder case, Market Fauzan, he has been mentioned in the annexure of the NIA charge sheet. And also Faraz, who is the third accused in the Prakash assault case, is the brother of Mohammad Kasif, who is the prime accused in Harsha murder case as well. So were these three people planning to murder Prakash? That is a big question, because the Shivamogga cops have so far gone on to state that this is just a trivial case and the two gangs had an enmity, and therefore these gangs had gone on to target Prakash.
The Karnataka police has arrested three persons identified as Tanveer, Fauzan, Azhar and Faraz for attacking Prakash in the Shivamogga district of Karnataka. This after around 9 miscreants arrived on three bikes, raised anti-Hindu and anti-RSS slogans and attacked the victim. Prakash was injured severely in the clash and was shifted to hospital for treatment. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Republic has now accessed the FIR in the case, which clearly states the intention of the attackers was to kill Prakash. Joining us on this broadcast is my colleague Prajwal from Bengaluru, who's getting us the latest details. It's amply clear right now, Prajwal, that the intention was essentially to kill Prakash. Two very important stories, multiple hate attacks that have taken place this year. What more are you picking up? Just quickly tell our viewers with regards to the FIR, the details of the FIR that you've accessed.
Right now, Shavan, Republic has accessed this FIR where the complainant Prakash has stated that these three people, that is Market, Fauzan, Azhar as well as Faraz, three people had attacked him on the 24th at 10:45 in Bharmappa Nagar, and it was a lethal assault on him. It was a grievous, he has gone on to sustain grievous injuries, and they have repeatedly started kicking him in his private areas. They choked him as well, which is caught on the camera. He's spoken on the camera camera stating that they tried to choke him to death, and when he was fleeing from the spot, they have started pelting him with stones. And as soon as they started pelting him with stones, he sustained grievous injuries on his head as well as his right ear too, and he started bleeding profusely. But as they have chased him for a distance, he's gone inside his house, locked himself up, and once he was locked inside his house, they started shouting out abuses against the RSS, Bajrang Dal as well as Prakash too, and they have gone on to state that you have escaped today, but we will make sure that we will kill you some other day. So this is exactly what the complaint copy states. And also a medico-legal case too has been recorded in this particular regard, and when he was treated, the injuries were quite grievous, Shravan. And what is very surprising over here is the part that two of the names has also been mentioned in the charge sheet of the NIA in regards to the Harsha murder case, which Republic had gone on to access. And over here, it has clearly been pointed out that Market Fauzan, who is the prime accused in Prakash assault case, was seen, his name was seen in the annexure of the NIA charge sheet, and he was seen with all the accused in the Harsha murder case too. And Faraz, the accused number 3 in this particular case, is related to the prime accused, Mohammad Kasif, in Harsha murder case. So therefore, when Republic connected the dots, they saw a similar modus operandi by these 3 miscreants to go on and assault Prakash. And now looking at the entire incident, SP Mithun Kumar of Shimoga has dismissed this as a very trivial incident and it was a personal matter. But also if you look at the history as to what Prakash was doing, Prakash was seen in all the major events and he participated along with the pro-Hindu organizations. And on the 22nd of October, I repeat, on the 22nd of October, he was seen in the Veer Savarkar rally where these 3 marked their target and had a war of words with Prakash, Shravan.
Well, thank you very much for getting us the latest details on the multiple hate attacks that have taken place in the state of Karnataka. Should we focus now to the other big story, political battle between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the TRS. Now, there's a sensational 14-minute tape on the poaching which has been accessed by Republic TV. TRS MLA's conversation has been leaked. On the tape, the TRS MLA is making the offer to CM. On the tape is the conversation between TRS legislator Rohit Reddy and Satish Sharma. Listen in to this audio tape and then we go across to our correspondent getting us the latest details on that FIR that has been registered by the government.
Nandu was telling me that Santosh ji is the main person and Santosh
is the key person.
Yeah, Santosh ji is...
Exactly, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Exactly, I will tell you. Just a minute. Santosh is the organizing secretary who looks after all the things of the BJP.
Okay.
He is the key person where he takes all role to form the government, and every movement is completely organized by DL Santosh.
Okay.
So for your kind information, number 1 and 2 will come to Santosh house and they will discuss.
Okay.
Santosh will not go there. That is the protocol of RSS.
Okay.
Which he follows.
Okay.
So, for any decision, if we met one or two also, again the decision has to take by Santosh only.
Okay.
Santosh will plan.
Okay.
So, what we can do is, we will directly sit with Santosh.
Yeah.
Santosh will, on the same day, along with Santosh, we will go to number 2.
Okay.
That would be the better options, what I am saying.
Yeah.
So
Santosh ji like once our meeting is done in Hyderabad, Santosh ji, Nandu said Santosh ji will come to Hyderabad so that we are not exposed anywhere. If we travel, we are under the scanner. So
for that reason, arrange the thing. Let me get in tomorrow. What I will do is I will update the message to Santosh tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think by 11 o'clock we have a myself and Santosh and other persons.
Okay.
So on that time I will discuss with Santosh.
Okay.
I will not reveal the names. Don't worry. I'm directly dealing with the person, not in between of this.
Yeah.
So, there is no confusion in this.
Yeah.
I will discuss the matter with Santosh tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I will review.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Swamiji.
Yeah.
I request you to please put it very confidential, or else our lives are gone.
No. You don't have to worry in this.
Yeah.
If anything, little bit of issues, if we found means, immediately we will make it patch up and we will convert that matter. And we will give the complete protection from the center. Don't worry.
Okay.
It is our responsibility to take care of you. When you are in our scanner, don't have to worry.
Getting us on this broadcast is Aneri right now from Hyderabad. Aneri, just take us through the details of that FIR that has been registered. What is it that the police is saying right now with this FIR that has been registered, with the BJP is saying is that this is completely choreographed?
Well, that's right, Shravan. We have been seeing on the 25th, after there were the raids which were conducted at the Moinabad farmhouse, we had seen that the Cyberabad Commissioner had given out a statement where he had very clearly stated that this information was given to them by the TRS MLAs. But then after that statement, we haven't seen any sort of statement coming in, whereas there was an FIR which we had accessed, in which they clearly mentioned that these three people who were arrested by the police from the farmhouse are said to be the BJP associates, and they were having deal with the TRS leaders into the matter. And also there were deals of they were talking about somewhere around 100 crores to be given to Pilot Rohit Reddy and other three around 50 crores. So a total is tuning in to around 400 crores. But now the larger question remains is that where is that 400 crores, because the police officials haven't mentioned any sort of information or any sort of amount of seizure in the FIR. So very clearly the BJP also is raising a lot of questions in this regard, that where is that money, from whom did that money come from, and whose money is that, are the questions being raised by the BJP. And also at the same time we see that the BJP has been stating and very clearly saying that they do not have any role to play into this, whereas it's all fabricated and it's all a screenplay which has been done by the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao from its camp office, that's Pragati Bhavan. So very clearly now there's an audio tape which has also been released, where we see that there is a conversation between the TRS MLA and the Swamiji.
Right. Thank you very much, Anuri, for getting us the latest details.
Elon Musk completes his Twitter takeover, sacks the top Twitter officials, including the CEO, Parag Agarwal.
Rahul Gandhi was waded into the poaching controversy, saying that the TRS and the BJP are two sides of the same coin.
Fire has broken out in a godown in Kurla area of Mumbai. 8 fire tenders have been deployed.
The NHRC on Thursday issued a notice to the Rajasthan government over reports that girls are being auctioned on stamp paper in half a dozen districts of the state, and the refusal thereof is resulting in the rape of their mothers to settle financial disputes on the diktats of caste panchayats. The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of a media report in this regard.
The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of the media report that in some districts of Rajasthan, the caste panchayats are very active in redressal of disputes, and especially in the matters where somebody has taken a loan and is unable to pay back the loan. So the caste panchayats force such persons to auction their daughters on stamp paper, and if they deny so, the wife of that person is subjected to sexual assault and rape.
The Rajasthan State Commission for Women has taken cognizance of reports that minor girls in districts of Rajasthan, particularly Bhilwara, are being sold on stamp paper. A notice has been issued to the Director General of Police and Bhilwara Collector. An immediate action with a factual report sought in 7 days. Meanwhile, the BJP has slammed the Elon government.
21वीं सदी में ऐसा कोई रिपोर्ट आए जिसमें कहा जाए कि बच्चों की नीलामी हो रही है, बेटियों की नीलामी हो रही है, मां के साथ शोषण हो रहा है, तो राजस्थान सरकार कैसे चुप रह सकती है? इस पे क्या कार्रवाई हुई? अभी तक कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं हुई? कौन है ये लोग? और राजस्थान में लगातार क्यों इस प्रकार की घटनाएं बढ़ती जा रही है? महिलाएं वहां क्यों असुरक्षित है? और कांग्रेस नेतृत्व क्यों चुप है? ऐसा लगता है कि राजस्थान सरकार जो है अपने संवैधानिक शपथ को भूल गई है। राजस्थान सरकार जो है वो काम नहीं करना चाहती, केवल राजनीति करना चाहती है। और इस संदेश से ये जो न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट आई है,
Well, China has vehemently rejected a report that was released by the United Nations Human Rights Office on serious human rights violations in the northwestern Xinjiang region. Now, the report included allegations of people being strapped by the hands and feet to a tiger chair and beaten, women raped and others held in extended solitary confinement. The report was highly critical of the Chinese government's anti-extremism doctrine, which underpins the crackdown. It said the laws and regulations were vague and ill-defined. Now, for the first time on Indian television, we're getting you what's the plight of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang province. Take a look at this report and then we play out that big interview.
For Human Rights. A long-awaited report by the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights into what China refers to as the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region has concluded that serious human rights violations against the Uyghur and other predominantly Muslim communities have been committed. The report published said that allegations of patterns of torture or ill treatment, including forced medical treatment and adverse conditions of detention, are as credible as are the allegations of individual incidents of sexual and gender-based violence. Meanwhile, China has vehemently rejected a report released by the UNHRC on serious human rights violations in the northwestern Xinjiang region. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a deafening silence across the globe when it comes to the plight of Uyghur Muslims in China. Well, it has been largely documented about the serious human rights violations that have been committed. But what's really happening in China, in Xinjiang province? Joining us in the studio is Ms. Nurgul Shawut. She's the executive chairperson of the Uyghur Freedom Forum. Let me straight away ask you this, Ms. Shawut, with regards to the plight of Uyghur Muslims and the deafening silence. Not much has ever been spoken. We'll also come to the details of the UNHRC report in a short while from now. But straight away, with regards to the plight, and why is it that the world never likes to speak about it?
I think there's two aspects of the whole scenario. One is world looking at the most powerful country, they're committing crime against humanity. And whoever needs to speak up, it's not just the one country or one individual's voice. The voice has to be collective voice. The world in this regard unable to find their collective voice or unable to come together to raising their voice up against such strong tyranny. And secondly, our investigation and the proof of such the heinous and the crime against humanity is ongoing 5 years length of crime. But during the 5 years, we have done so much work, right, and yet so much work needs to be done too. So there's accountability, reliability, transparency, all above. That's what we're trying to achieve. We constantly working towards trying to prove ourselves this is what's happening to Uyghur people in occupied Xinjiang.
Ms. Shawut, if I can also take our viewers through some of the details that have been put out in the UNHRC report, and I would also like you to help our viewers understand the plight and get into details of it. The observations that have been made in the UNHRC report with regards to crime against humanity, anti-extremism, arbitrary detention, forced labor, forced medication and sexual abuse. Would it be possible for you to tell our viewers about specific instances that your organization has documented in terms of what we've been calling serious human rights violations that have been committed by the Chinese administration?
In terms of our organization has been closely working with our community members and our different organizations right across the globe, and are trying to record, document, along with some of the databases, some of the well-established organizations. One thing what we come across at the moment is quite large numbers of our the community members is watching their family members, their elderly parents, or vulnerable, very sick relatives just dying off under the Chinese zero COVID policy. And now, as we speak, as of today, they have been staying in 88 days of the lockdown. And I don't understand how on earth any country could come up with this best solution for controlling COVID, the infection, by locking up people with not enough food, not enough resource for up to that long.
Ms. Saud, you've also very recently pointed out saying that the entire East Turkestan has now been converted into a jail. Could you elaborate a little bit, because what happens is that there is a dark side to it. Not much media reporting ever takes place. The world really does not really know the atrocities that have been committed. Can you take our viewers through at least some of those instances that you may have come across as to how exactly is the Chinese authorities committing those crimes in those areas which there is no access to? There is no access to any such information.
China, it's what they're doing is, the one is a digital governing system. It's highly monitored, and as well as using AI technology to control people's movement. So that's why when I refer to whole occupied Xinjiang as open air, a prison, that's what I'm referring to. Doesn't matter you're staying at your own house or in your own neighborhood, your every movement, every the word and every conversation is all highly monitored and being watched. So that's why it's created this called white terror amongst the people. No one trusted each other. No one actually really believed or openly, honestly express what they need and what their concerns. And so when I refer to open air prison, that's what I'm referring to. And there's very little or no information around people's terror in outside the world. However, I must say our people is very clever, smart. Time to time, they always come up with what we call a digital uprising, digital awareness. They create very little mimic, very little clips, let outside the world know what's happening. And of people like myself and many campaigners and many activists, we can pick on those mimics very quickly. And we know, we go through analysis, we collect those data, we know exactly what's happening. And so we translate them, put it into a certain statement, and we pretty much spreading the words, spreading the message to international community and some, Western, the medias, and wherever we can find it, a space and a time.
Well, in fact, we're also getting in some more details on a story that we started our edition with regards to the hate attacks in Karnataka, where we've seen in Shivamoga there have been multiple hate attacks. Now, what we are putting out right now is the details of the attack that took place on Prakash. Take a look at this report.
Shivamoga in Karnataka witnessed a lot of hate attacks. First, it was Harsha who was brutally killed and filmed. And then, in recent days, in the past few days, we saw a similar attack on a Hindu activist named Prakash. Prakash, fortunately, he was saved and he sustained injuries and he was not murdered. But in these two hate attacks, there lies a lot of similarities. And we will decode to you what are those similarities. The first similarity is, of course, Kafir Bajrang Dal ko maro slogans were raised when Harsha was killed. And similarly, when Prakash was attacked, the assailants allegedly shouted anti-RSS slogans. And this has been mentioned in the FIR copy that Republic has accessed. Now when Prakash was attacked, the accused was Fauzan. He was the accused in the case. And Fauzan is seen with Harsha's killers. Fauzan, remember, is accused in Prakash hate attack, and he is also seen with Harsha's murderers. So these are the second similarities that we've told to you. The third similarity that we'll go to is about the accused again, where Faraz is an accused number 3 in Prakash's hate attack. And Faraz is the brother of Kasif. Remember, Kasif is accused of murdering Harsha. So there you see there are quite a lot of similarities when we talk about the hate attack that took place on Harsha and the hate attack that took place on Prakash. Now these similarities tell a lot of questions. These pose a lot of questions on the kind of hate attacks if these were targeted, especially towards the Hindu community.
BSF has foiled an attempt of Pakistan to smuggle weapons into the Indian territory and have recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunition in the Firozpur sector. It was yesterday evening at around 7 in the evening when the BSF troops that were deployed in the forward area saw a suspected bag, and upon the search they have recovered 3 AK-47 rifles along with the 6 magazines. 3 AK mini rifles, the brand of that is yet to be ascertained, along with the 5 magazines, and 3 pistols along with the 6 magazines have been recovered. The Border Security Force has also recovered a huge cache of ammunition with 200 rounds, 100 rounds of the AK-47 rifles and 100 rounds of the pistol. The pistol is of the Brita made that have been recovered now by the BSF. Pakistan is continuously pushing narcotics and weapons into the Punjab for gangsters and the terrorists so as to destabilize the state, and the events that are happening in the Punjab clearly hints at a larger plot of Pakistan. With Gaurav Sahani, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
The NHRC on Thursday issued a notice to the Rajasthan government over reports that girls are being auctioned on stamp paper in half a dozen districts of the state, and the refusal thereof is resulting in the rape of their mothers to settle financial disputes on the diktats of caste panchayats. The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of a media report in this regard.
The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of the media report that in some districts of Rajasthan, the caste panchayats are very active in redressal of disputes, and especially in the matters where somebody has taken a loan and is unable to pay back the loan. So the caste panchayats force such persons.
Elon Musk completes his Twitter takeover, sacks the top Twitter officials, including the CEO, Parag Agarwal.
Rahul Gandhi was waded into the poaching controversy, saying that the TRS and the BJP are two sides of the same coin.
Fire has broken out in a godown in Kurla area of Mumbai. 8 fire tenders have been deployed.
Amit Malviya set to sue The Wire over the biggest fake news story of the year. At the United Nations meeting in Mumbai, India shares intricate details, bears Mumbai terror plot before the world. Sensational 14-minute tape on poaching has been accessed by Republic. On the tape, the TRS MLA is making an offer to the seer. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in Ladakh inaugurates multiple infra projects. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan goes against ISI, says will expose the agency.
All right, viewers, we brought you the big story on the wire's biggest fake news yesterday. There was a major storm over this story. It was the biggest talking point. While there is shock over the fake news factory, there is not a single line of condemnation from the Editors Guild of India. Let's listen into Amit Malviya first, who is going to sue the agency.
On 6th October 2022, The Wire published a report claiming that Meta, the parent company that owns Facebook and Instagram, had removed an Instagram post within a few minutes of it being uploaded by a private account, namely Kring Archivist. The report claimed that the company regularly colludes with members of the BJP in removing content deemed unfavorable to the party. Subsequently, on October 10th, 2022, The Wire went on to claim that I was the nodal point interfacing between the party and Meta for said censorship activity, having been bestowed certain X-check and other privileges by the company. As per the report, the stated had bestowed on me the following powers, overriding any filters, algorithms, vetting, verification, or any other checks and balances within the company. First, taking down content which is critical of the Bharatiya Janata Party and its leadership, post any content on its platform, Instagram, without any of its filtration algorithms kicking in. The report went on to cite alleged internal correspondence of Meta to justify its claims, alleging I had used said privileges to take down a total of 705 posts to date. On October 11th, 2022, Meta's communication head, Mr. Andy Stone, issued a categorical denial and stated that the documents presented by The Wire in its report were fabricated and that the X-check status had been mischaracterized. Once Meta issued this statement, The Wire should have at least paused its coverage on this issue and commenced an internal audit. Instead, on the same day, it went on to publish yet another malicious report claiming to have accessed further internal emails of Meta employees, namely those exchanged between Andy Stone and his team, purportedly trying to cover up. Finally, on October 27, 2022, after scathing public scrutiny and the exposure of significant fabrication of dates, times, and content in its alleged proof, The Wire publicly apologized to its readers and retracted the stories about M-Check and Meta. However, even while retracting the story, The Wire refrained from apologizing to me, despite maligning and tarnishing my reputation and causing serious harm to my professional career. My role requires me to vociferously advocate the BJP's point of view on national issues across platforms. This role is based on trust and camaraderie between me and my interlocutors across platforms, and more importantly, with the public. However, The Wire's stories have vitiated the atmosphere and severely dented relationships and trust built over the years for me to carry out the functions of my responsibility. It is clear that The Wire and some unknown persons entered into a criminal conspiracy with the intent to malign and tarnish my reputation. deliberately inserted my name into a story and fabricated evidence to implicate me. This also undermines the democratic and informed choices that the public makes through a carefully calibrated campaign of disinformation and calumny, and does irreparable harm to the democratic right of dissent. Consequently, I am left with no option other than to seek appropriate legal remedies against The Wire and its management and reporters. As mentioned yesterday, I will lodge an FIR with the concerned police station under sections that deal with forgery, forgery for the purposes of cheating, forgery to harm reputation, defamation, cheating, and criminal conspiracy, among others. Additionally, I will also initiate appropriate civil action for damages against The Wire and its associates.
All right, so let's go live to Shravan. Shravan, where are those people who fancy themselves with the Kevlar shield of journalism as at the vanguard of the profession? I'm having the statement given by the Editors Guild of India, and it says, the concluding para, that the guild is also disturbed by the recent turn of events with respect to the reports published by The Wire on Meta. The guild is conscious of and emphasizes the need for extra care in investigative journalism and urges newsrooms, not The Wire, it urges newsrooms to resist the temptation of moving fast on sensitive stories, circumventing the journalistic norms and checks. I think they are still shielding their friends and the people with whom they really wine and dine, so to say, Shravan. It's clear case of being soft on The Wire by the Editors Guild of India. Could you connect with some of them? What was your sense when you spoke to The Wire editor? Are they really apologetic at what they did, or they are very sure that, oh, they did because they were motivated and that they would let this pass?
Well, in fact, first to begin with the statement, the wishy-washy statement of the Editors Guild, it does appear to us that this is clearly half-hearted, not really addressing the core issue. When I say core issue, Abhishek, for all our viewers to understand what exactly is the issue and why are we really reporting about it. The reason being is that it all starts with one particular Instagram account. And mind you, this does not belong to any political party. It is a private account. It turns out that the person who was holding that Instagram account did actually get in touch with Wire because one of the posts was arbitrarily removed and not really following the guidelines that have been put out by Meta. It turns out that the private account person did not ever complain about any undue influence that was exercised by any member of the Bharatiya Janata Party. What turns out is that through their so-called investigative journalists, they say that ex-check privileges were basically used, and that is the reason why this particular post was removed. Now, how do you really come to that kind of a conclusion? This is based on what they called a post report that was prepared by Meta. Now, what generally happens in these matters, Abhishek, is that, especially since this involves technical aspects, across board, globally, the practice essentially being in all newsrooms when it involves technical aspects, you bring in a third party. The third party technical expert with forensic examination, because it talks about emails, internal email communication. Now, just to give an example, Abhishek, if any of the internal email is leaked, how do you really know that this belongs to a particular organization and it's not been completely fabricated? You and I, through naked eyes, cannot basically come to any such conclusion. There is a need for a technical expert. In this particular case, they haven't really used it. And let's be very clear.
Wire has always propagated that they have essentially used all the best means, editorial practices are in place, and they come to a conclusion based on what they call 2 years of investigation. If that's the case, then why not really employ any technical expert? Let's not forget, when Wire was reporting on the Pegasus, they essentially said that one of their editors was a victim of the same. And that is the reason why they had handed over their mobile phones to a technical expert, and based on that they came to a conclusion that yes, their editor was under the watch list. If they were aware of such terms, they could have simply used the same kind of expertise when it comes to stories like these, where there is a clear technical evidence and it requires some sort of an authentication coming in from a third party, because they are the ones who are an authority on this, not simply on the basis of what journalists like you and I would essentially see when it's given to us by a particular source. It requires multiple editorial checks, and this is where the problem lies as far as the case on the reporting that has been done by Wire. And the reason why you are looking at Amit Malviya right now raising this entire issue is because, remember, they've come to a conclusion that exchequer privileges that were actually given to Amit Malviya, because he happens to be a political personality, he's used an undue influence. There is nothing to really authenticate that. And that is exactly why Wire has retracted, but there is no apology.
All right, Wire has retracted but no apology, and of course Editors Guild being wishy-washy. Let's move on, a short break. But on the other side, a DMK leader made the most disgusting and shameful comment against female politicians of the BJP, including Khushbu Sundar. Republic spoke to Khushbu, but that's coming up after a short break.
It's hybrid by nature. A silent predator. The new breed rises above all others. A new breed of SUVs. The advanced Grand Vitara rule every road.
The Rajasthan State Commission for Women has taken cognizance of reports that minor girls in districts of Rajasthan, particularly Bhilwara, are being sold on stamp paper. A notice has been issued to the Director General of Police and Bhilwara collector. An immediate action with a factual report sought in 7 days. Meanwhile, the BJP has slammed the Elon government.
21वीं सदी में ऐसा कोई रिपोर्ट आए जिसमें कहा जाए कि बच्चों की नीलामी हो रही है, बेटियों की नीलामी हो रही है, मां के साथ शोषण हो रहा है, तो राजस्थान सरकार कैसे चुप रह सकती है? इस पे क्या कार्रवाई हुई? अभी तक कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं हुई? कौन है ये लोग? और राजस्थान में लगातार क्यों इस प्रकार की घटनाएं बढ़ती जा रही है? महिलाएं वहां क्यों असुरक्षित है? और कांग्रेस नेतृत्व क्यों चुप है? ऐसा लगता है कि राजस्थान सरकार जो है अपने संवैधानिक शपथ को भूल गई है। राजस्थान सरकार जो है वो काम नहीं करना चाहती, केवल राजनीति करना चाहती है। और इस संदेश से ये जो न्यूज रिपोर्ट आई है, इससे ये चिंता बढ़ रही है।
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal writes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, requests inclusion of photos of Hindu goddess Lakshmi and Hindu god Ganesha on currency notes. In his letter, he stressed he has made an appeal on behalf of 130 crore Indians.
भाजपा और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली केजरीवाल जी की कुंडली
In a shocker, a DMK spokesperson on stage passed abusive and derogatory remarks against female leaders of Tamil Nadu BJP, including actor Khushbu Sundar. Following which, in an attempt at damage control, the DMK MP Kanimodi took to Twitter and extended apologies. Republic spoke to Khushbu just a while back. Let's listen into how she is responding to this.
இதுல வேற இந்த 4 நடிகை ஒருத்தர் இருக்கறாளுங்கல்ல பேர் வர மாட்டேங்குதே குசுப்பு நமிதா முன்னோட்டிக்கிறாள் யாரு காயத்ரி ரகுராமன் அப்புறம் இந்த கௌதமின்னு ஒருத்தி நாங்களும் வடசல்ல கட்சி வளர்த்தோம் யார் யார் வச்சு வளர்த்தோம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த காலத்துல இருந்து அந்த சீதாபதில இருந்து டிஆர் பால்ல இருந்து அந்த பல்ராமன்ல இருந்து இன்னைக்கு எங்க எங்க அண்ணன் இளையரணா வரைக்கும் இங்க திமுக வளர்த்துக்கிறாங்க, வளர்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க இந்த மாவட்டத்துல. ஆனா பிஜேபி இருக்கிற தலைவரா பாத்தீங்கன்னா 4 ஆயிட்டாங்க. இதுல ஒருத்தி சொல்ற அந்த குஷ்பூன் ஒருத்தி தலையை கையில தூக்கிட்டு தாமரை மலர்ந்தே தீரும் தமிழ்நாட்டில். நான் தான் சொன்னேன், அமித்ஷா தலையிலே மயிர் முளைத்தாலும் முளைக்குமே தவிர தமிழ்நாட்டில் தாமரை மலராது புரிந்து கொள்ளது. யார்கிட்ட கதை விடுறீங்க? நீ எல்லாம் ஒரு ஆளு. எங்க அண்ணன் எத்தனை முறை இளையர் குஷ்பூ போடுகிறார் தெரியுமா? கூட்டத்தை இருங்க, அவங்க திமுக இருந்தாங்க 5-6 முறை இதே எங்க அண்ணன் இளையர்னா ராயபுரத்துல குஷ்பூ கூட்டம் போட்டாரு. நீங்க வம்புல மாட்டி விட்டுறீங்க போல இது. இப்ப இருக்குப்பா, ஏற்கனவே யூடியூப் சேனல்காரே தாலி அத்துனுக்கிறா. அந்த மாதிரி திமுக இருந்ததா இல்லையா? இருந்ததா? அண்ணன் கூட்டம் போட்டுக்கிறார்.
Something that a lot of our viewers have also been asking us, Khushbu, on the social media, that Kanimoyi has apologized. But this man from the DMK has called you an item. He's called you an item. Is this apology good enough? What will you tell Kanimoyi now?
No. This apology is not accepted because I'm not going to accept this apology. I appreciate that Kanimoyi actually went out all the way and she immediately responded to me and she issued an apology. I really appreciate Kani for that. And I say she proves that she is Dr. Kalingir's daughter because these are the teachings of a great leader called Dr. Kalingir. And I come from that school. So I really appreciate Kani. But these kind of men cannot continue to be in a responsible position or to continue in any political arena because they spell bad news. They cannot continue. They cannot go on insulting women. And this man is going on justifying his actions, justifying his words. He's just saying that, okay, no, if I've hurt her, I'm sorry. I mean, what do you mean by saying that if you have hurt me? You have not only hurt me, you have insulted your own mother. You're born to a woman. You're insulting a woman like me. You're insulting a mother in me and you're insulting your own mother. Is this the bringing up that woman had given you? If that is the case, then I'm shocked. So these men do not realize that when you speak ill about a woman, when you insult a woman, in turn, you're insulting your bringing up and your own mother. And I want to put a full stop to this. People have been saying that we have had people from different political arenas, from different parties, some leaders speaking about women. No political field or no platform should allow a man to speak in such a derogatory manner. We are not an object. We definitely demand and command respect. You owe these men, they owe us that respect, and I am going to command that, and I am going to demand that. I'm going to fight this out, and I'm not going to let it go.
You know, Khushbu, tell me something. Kanimoyi has apologized. You've welcomed that. But the point is, what is stopping Kanimoyi or the party or MK Stalin from sacking this man? I mean, this is a no-brainer. He has to be acted upon. A message has to be sent.
Yes, the message has to be sent, and this is what I'm asking the CM. What is stopping him? Probably it does not make a difference to him. It's just that we talk about women empowerment and let a man come and insult a woman and go, and it's fine for him. And that is why I say, let anyone speak one word about any women in DMK's family, and let me see if this is how CM is going to react to it. If the same words were used by any of the political party leaders or any political spokesperson against a woman in DMK, I mean, all hell would have broken loose. These guys would have been on the streets doing dharnas and, creating a huge riot. And this is because it's spoken about some of the women. It's absolutely fine. The rules are going to be the same. I'm a woman. The women in your family are women. I'm a mother. The women in your family are mothers. I'm born to a woman. You're also born to a woman. The rules are the same. Rules cannot go different. A woman definitely is capable of gaining every inch of respectability. And the respect has to be given in both the ways. Rules are not different for the women in your family and the women in my family.
Because you're talking of the family and the DMK. Now tell me something, Khushbu. Do you believe that this actually has become a norm in the party? There is this normalization of speaking such a language against women. Not the very first time that the DMK or, any neta in the DMK has made a sexist remark like this.
It's become a norm. We have been seeing it for a very long time. People have been taking it for granted, and that's because nobody has been reacting to it, and nobody has been speaking about it. So people have taken it for granted that it's okay. Let them speak, because we women have been keeping quiet. We ignore it. There are times when we need to ignore it. You know, they say कि कीचड़ में पत्थर फेंको तो अपने पर उड़ेगा. And this is how we have been keeping quiet. But this is the point where it has hit the rock bottom. And this is not where I think the time has come where पत्थर उठाओ और वापस फेंको. That time has come. And I'm going to do that. If I have to bell the cat, if I have to pick up a stone and hit back, I'm ready to do that. But I'm not going to take things lying down.
Oh, yes. And you know, I should not be repeating what we've heard from this Neta. It's a shameless comment to say the least, Khushbu. But what kind of a mindset does it represent? What does it portray when he says that you and 3 others, he names, 4 people. He names 4 people, including you, and he says that you are bought.
Yeah, he very indirectly labeled me as a whore. And I'm not ashamed to say what he said, very indirectly. In fact, not even indirectly, very openly he labeled me. He said we 4 women were the items, and he very openly labeled me as a whore. And I would like to ask this man, if a woman like me, who is a self-made, successful woman, if he is so unabashedly, unapologetically, he takes a pleasure in calling me a whore on a platform where you have a DMK minister on the same dais and you have the chief minister keeping quiet, then I don't know where are we heading. I don't know where Tamil Nadu is heading. Yes, we have heard remarks in the past from every different political parties, at times even from my own political party, where we have used some misogynistic remarks. But like I said before, this needs to stop across party borderlines. Across parties, this needs to stop. You cannot accept this. You cannot get away by insulting a woman and speaking in such a misogynist, sexist remarks against a woman and get away with it, saying that, okay, they are going to be ignored. No, they will not be ignored. And if I'm going to be the first person to start a fight, I'm ready to do it, because I've always stood up for women's rights, and I will even this time. It's not about me alone. Today, if I keep quiet, this person or somebody else will speak about somebody else. And that is not acceptable to me. I have 2 girls, and I want my daughters to learn that if some man speaks in a very misogynist or makes a very sexiest remark about you, you need to stand up before others do. You need to stand up for yourself and fight it out. I do not give that right to any man on this planet to speak ill about me. Nobody has the rights to speak about me.
Oh, that was Khushbu Sundar. A short break on the other side. At the United Nations meeting in Mumbai, India shares intricate details bears Mumbai terror plot before the world. Also, sensational 14-minute tape on poaching has been accessed by Republic. On the tape, the TRS MLA is making the offer to the CM.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years. With top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Style? For me, it's the pursuit of timeless elegance. Crisp, clean, classic, subtle brilliance. You don't know what it is that catches your eye, but it does, you know. The cut, the color, the lines. There's something in the essence of the evergreen. You feel special, selected. That's when I know I found the right fit. When I feel selected.
The NHRC on Thursday issued a notice to the Rajasthan government over reports that girls are being auctioned on stamp paper in half a dozen districts of the state, and the refusal thereof is resulting in the rape of their mothers to settle financial disputes on the diktats of caste panchayats. The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of a media report in this regard.
The National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of the media report that in some districts of Rajasthan, the caste panchayats are very active in redressal of disputes, and especially in the matters where
All right, top wrap of stories from across the country. The Mumbai police has arrested film producer Kamal Kishore Mishra earlier today for allegedly ramming his car into his wife after she spotted him with another woman in the vehicle in Mumbai. The row over garbage mountain is only intensifying. AAP leader Atashi sharpening her attack on BJP. No developments were done in New Delhi for the past 15 years, she said. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh along with General Rajiv Chaudhary arrived at Shyok Setu. Rajnath Singh inaugurated the 75 infrastructure projects including the Shyok Setu. All right, Amit Malviya set to sue the wire over the biggest fake news story of the year. And at the United Nations meeting in Mumbai, India shares intricate details, bears Mumbai terror plot before the world on the other side of a short break.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
BSF has foiled an attempt of Pakistan to smuggle weapons into the Indian territory and have recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunition in the Firozpur sector. It was yesterday evening at around 7 in the evening when the BSF troops that were deployed in the forward area saw a suspected bag, and upon the search they have recovered 3 AK-47 rifles along with the 6 magazines. 3 AK mini rifles, the brand of that is yet